Hi, and welcome to the Sunshine Health Space. I am Danica, and today I'm going to be explaining how to get through your periods. Being someone who has quite heavy periods, so I do get very painful cramps in my stomach and my back, my knees, quite a lot of the symptoms that come with heavy periods. So I just wanted to make a quick video actually, just to explain how I get through it, to hopefully encourage people watching to be able to get through it, or use some of these tips to be able to get through it themselves, to make it a bit easier. So the reason why I even wanted to make this video really was because I was gonna make a video talking about exercise you can do when you're on your period, and it didn't feel quite right making that video, just because I don't usually exercise on my period at all, and if I do, it is very, like if I've got a class, like if I'm at work or if I'm teaching, then of course I will have to work out. But I tried to not do anything too strenuous, just because the first 2 days especially, I am very, like, my cramps are cramping. So I avoid doing exercise on those days, and today is the first day of my period, so I'm unlikely going to do any exercise today, besides maybe some arms and just any of the areas that is not affected. Luckily though, my first day today has not been too bad. Normally the first or 2 days is quite bad, and either the first or the second day, so maybe tomorrow we'll see how that goes. But the first thing that has really helped my period, one of my colleagues at work, I was telling her that I had quite heavy periods, and she encouraged me to drink onion tea. Now, it sounds kind of weird, but she showed me an article about it and how it could help. So I thought, like, why not? At this point, these periods are really hurting, and they just make the whole day rubbish. So I gave it a try, and this has been the second month. So I tried it 2 months ago, and what you essentially had to do was drink onion tea. So you had to chop up an onion, drink the tea first thing in the morning and last thing at night for 15 days, and then that's it. And then the second month, which I did not stick to because I was just all over the place, and was meant to do the same thing again for the second month, and I'm going to do the same thing again next month, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to do it for 3 months. So once this period finishes, I need to wait 3 days, and then I will begin doing the onion tea again. But after the first month, I did feel like my period pain did get a lot easier. I felt like I was shedding a lot more the first few days, but it wasn't as painful. And my period did finish 1 day earlier than usual. So yeah, that one was a real good one. I'll try and update you after the next month, because just to see if it has helped. The second one is an anti-inflammatory. So a lot of people show you on YouTube, or like there's a lot of videos around talking about anti-inflammation recipes, anti-inflammation drinks and things like that. And inflammation is basically pain in your body. So the inflammation that is in my knees when I get my cramps would be referred to as inflammation in my knees. Same thing in your when you get period cramps, it's like inflammation built up in your stomach because the lining is shedding. And I get inflammation in my back as well because of the same thing. But there is kind of a consensus that you can eat your way to kind of take away the pain. And I do agree with it to a certain extent. Through my own experience, when I've tried to do anti-inflammation recipes, obviously they do take a while for you. You have to be doing it for an elongated period of time for me to feel a difference. So when I began a vegan diet, like, I don't know if it was maybe probably a year ago now, and it lasted for about 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years. Thereabouts, I can't even remember, but it was around 2 years. I was eating vegan food and I was still having heavy periods, and that would be considered an anti-inflammation diet, because I was eating a lot of beans, tofu, pulses, vegetables, fruit. I was eating a lot of, that was the dominant part of my diet, besides some kind of the fake meat as well. But I was still experiencing quite heavy periods and quite painful periods during that time. So for anti-inflammation, I stick to ibuprofen, because that's the only thing that I feel actually makes a difference to me feeling period pains or not. I try to refrain from using it too much or trying to like be heavily reliant on it, but usually the first 2 days I'll be using it. Luckily though, since doing the onion tea, as I've said before, I think that when I had my period last time, I only used, normally I would use probably 2, 4, 6, 8, a 16 pack. I would probably use about 3/4 of a 16 pack, like for one period. So I would take one when my period starts, or kind of when it gets painful during the first day, and then I will take 4 doses during that first day, and then I would take another 2 doses on the second day. So that's about a pack and a half that I would take. And I noticed when I did my period last time, I only had to take 1 dose at all. So from 6 doses down to 1 dose was I was very happy with, I'll be honest. So yes. The other thing that I do is I try to avoid having or drinking too much sugar or eating too much sugar. Right now I'm on holiday and the breakfast comes included. So we get unlimited apple juice, orange juice, watermelon juice, all of the juices, and also cakes, donuts, treats. We get unlimited of that for breakfast. And so this morning I was given apple juice because that's what I've been having a lot. However, this morning I didn't drink mine and I just had some black tea with a touch of milk and a bit of sugar. I'm not perfect, so I did have a bit of sugar in the tea. However, I haven't drank the apple juice just because I noticed that when I am eating a lot of sugar leading up to my period, and on my period just seemed to be more painful. I don't know why, but anything I can do to reduce the pain is what I do. So unfortunately, the apple juice is not going to be drunk today. And for dinner last night, I did not have any. I didn't even get a sweet treat. The only thing I got, because normally at the end of the day I'll have like a sweet treat after dinner, and yesterday I didn't even have that just because I knew I was feeling the symptoms that my period was going to come. So I didn't even have that. So avoiding sugar has helped me. Hopefully it can help you. The next thing is walking. So every morning since I've been here, I've been walking along the beach. So I'd have my breakfast, and then me and my boyfriend will take a walk along the beach for about maybe like 10 minutes. They're down the beach and then all the way back. And if I can, I went to the gym the first day I came, and I've been doing like a workout every morning, or pretty much every morning since once I get back from the walk. So staying active, either walking or doing some like 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes, because that's what I've been doing when I am kind of, since it's been a holiday, I've been kind of not feeling to work out that much. that has helped me, and I think that really helps my body not to kind of get too stiff and feel overly tired. It gives you a bit of energy. It gives me a bit of a dopamine rush as well. So that has really been quite beneficial. I do think all of these things have worked together to alleviate my pain, which is why I'm even making this video, because if you know me, you know that when my period hits, like, I am knocked out for the day, usually 2 days. And this video would not even be recorded right now, but I'm a living example that these things are actually working. So I'm 29, so this is 29 years of like trial and error. So I am extremely passionate about these things, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. One thing new that I've added on to alleviating my period pain is massages. So if it gets really bad, the specific joints that I feel the pain, which is like my hip bone, my knees, like I said before, and my back, my lower back specifically, I have a massage oil, but I don't think it really matters what massage oil you use. I just have one that I've always had. But if you use a massage oil, then that will give you just a nice feeling. So when you're rubbing your joint, it kind of alleviates it. You don't have to use very much pressure, but you just rub along any part that is really aching, and it does, like, even if it's just for 5 minutes or a couple of minutes that you can like rub yourself down for, it has, like, that has really helped me to just feel a lot better. It kind of calms you because the motion is quite calming as well. So doing that for a few minutes has helped me while on my periods. And usually, even if I do maybe twice a day, 3 times a day, if you're not doing anything strenuous, then that has really helped as well. And finally, stretching. So like I said, when I'm at work, I sometimes obviously have to teach classes while I'm on my period. And like, usually, because I work in a women's only gym, like, the ladies are pretty empathetic with period pain and stuff like that, so it hasn't really been an issue if I have to change up the classes. However, I try to maintain it so that they come in and get their workout that they need or that they want. However, with the stretching, I always try to do the stretches, like good hip openers. Cat-cow is really good, but anything like child's pose is a really good one, because it opens up your hips and you can kind of get a bit of a relief on your lower back. Also, I would say cobra is really good as well, because again, it kind of stretches out your back and allows you to just feel kind of a calming stretch in your back, just to kind of alleviate a bit of the tension that is sitting there. And I try to just stretch out as much as I can, so doing knee holds as well for my knees, and any way to just open up my stomach. Like, for example, if you're lying on your bed and you are keeping your feet open like this, even this, and kind of leaning forward, nice deep breath. And you can do this lying down as well. I can't do it now because this chair is quite small, but even if you lie down, this is a really good stretch as well. So those are my tips to be able to alleviate period pain. I hope this was helpful, and these are the things that I have relied on to be able to help with period pain, because period pain it makes me question why I'm a woman. It makes me question why I have to have periods. Like, it makes me question everything when, when just periods are just hitting you from all sides. Like, sometimes with the headaches as well, it just really takes you under. I wish to be a woman that doesn't get period pain. However, this is just the things I do to make the best out of the situation. Obviously, there's a reason to having periods, and reproducing, being a woman, it is important to menstruate and stuff like that. However, just the pain, I could do without. But if you are lucky enough to not have any period pain, then this I guess really isn't relevant for you. But if you know someone that really does suffer with period pain, or yourself, you suffer with period pain quite a lot, then try one of these tips. Tell me how it goes, share it. If you don't have period pain, like I said, just share it with someone you know who does suffer with period pain, because anything could help them. And I promise you, being someone that suffers, like, we are always looking for tips and tricks to be able to alleviate the pain any way we can. One thing I did as well want to add is one thing I used to look up, and one thing that actually does help me, is the Flow app. So there's an app on the App Store called Flow, F-L-O. And I started using it years ago just to track my periods, because I just wanted to know more about my periods. But one thing I've noticed on there is that they have a community of women who they discuss different questions, or they put up different questions, and you can comment on it as well. And there was one post that was on there talking about period pain and how people get through period pain, and there were so many funny comments on it that some people just kind of just wait till it's over, and they haven't found anything to be able to help them with their period pain. However, that thread of comments around the subject of period pain really did actually make me laugh, and also it made me feel not alone. It made me feel like, okay, some people have it worse than me, so okay, it's not as bad for me. And some people was putting that there were some doctors that had commented talking about different remedies you could try. There was other women who had tried different things that was in there as well, and it's just a nice atmosphere to not feel so alone. So I would also suggest that Flow app as well. I found that to be quite beneficial on this journey to pain-free periods. So that is all from me. So comment down below if you do use any of the tips that I've added in here, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.